Hi friends, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you are new here. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Welcome. You're very welcome. If you are coming back, thank you so much for watching my videos. My name is Monica. This is my knitting channel or knitting podcast called Worsted.Witch, in which I talk about all the things knitting and some crafting and maybe some books and TV shows that I'm currently watching as well. I haven't been on here in a few weeks, and that is for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, I was quite stressed because I took the LSAT this past Saturday evening. So I just took it, and that was very stressful. If you don't know, the LSAT is the law school admissions test that one needs to take for the United States, well, to enter law school here in the United States, which is where I am. And so it was very stressful for me, but it's over now, and I don't take it again until probably February. So I have a bit more time. But so that was part of the reason that I haven't been on here. Is I've been very busy with that, and as you might be able to tell a little bit from my voice, maybe, hopefully not, but you might be able to tell that I've been actually quite sick. I've been quite sick for about a week now, and so I haven't been able to film anything because I've just been really ill. I've had a terrible cough and congestion and all of that. So I'm going to try to speak loud for this video, but I apologize if you could hear the sickness in my voice. And I'm going to try not coughing. Hopefully the coughing seems to have ceased for right now, so hopefully that'll be okay. But anyway, I am Monica. I am coming to you from just outside, or in Washington State, just outside of Seattle, in a town called Puyallup. So Puyallup, Washington is where I'm located. This is actually going to be officially episode 2, yay, of my Worsted.Witch podcast. I realized in the last video that I had not made an episode 2. I was so consumed with the Vlogtober series, in which I talked about the Stephen West Mystery Knit-Along specifically, and the Spooky Sock Make-Along, and I got so wrapped up in that I never made an episode 2. So this is officially episode 2 of my Worsted.Witch knitting channel. And today I'm a little bit nervous, which is not usually the norm for me. I don't really get nervous. If anyone out there knows me, you know that I've done some acting before, and I'm very comfortable in front of a camera and in front of an audience, actually. And so it's very weird for me to be nervous, but I am. So I'm nervous today for some reason, but I wanted to let you know what I'll be talking about. So feel free to skip ahead. I will have timestamps below in this video for everything that I talk about, but today I will be talking about any finished objects that I have for the month of October. I do realize it is the middle of November at this point, but like I said, I meant to film this earlier but couldn't, so I apologize. But I'll be talking about any finished objects that I have, and then I'll also going over any works in progress that I'm working on, or WIPs as people like to call them, and also any acquisitions that I have and future plans that I have going on, because I do have some that I'd like to talk about. And then lastly, I wanted to incorporate a little bit of booktube here on my knitting channel, just because I'm currently obsessed with watching booktube channels and getting book recommendations. And so I wanted to just talk about a few things that I've been reading, and actually a couple of things that I've been watching that I've been watching since I've been ill, or rewatching, I should say. And I absolutely love it. So I wanted to go over those things just to kind of have a bit of fun on this channel. So let's go ahead and get into it. If you have been watching my Vlogtober series, you'll know that was, like I said, specifically for the Stephen West mystery knit-along called Shawlography, and the Spooky Sock make-along of 2020. Halfway through, I started incorporating the Spooky Sock make-along into those Vlogtober videos. And there's a ton of knitting in that shawl. I mean, it's a huge shawl, and so I didn't think that I would have any finished objects for this month, but I actually do. I do have some finished objects, so I can't wait to show them to you. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's see. The first finished object that I have, falling over. The first finished object that I have are my spooky socks. So I mentioned these briefly, but this is one of the things that I made over the Vlogtober series, and I made these spooky socks. This is a pattern by Kristen McLaren. Here. I did finish both of them. I did finally finish the heels. They are a little bit worse for wear right now because I have been wearing them because they're just so perfect for my feet, and they're so toasty, and it's nice to have a nice pair of hand-knitted socks when you're not feeling well. So I've been wearing them, and I haven't even weaved in the ends yet, or blocked them, as you could see, but they do need those things, so I will do that. But I did finish these spooky socks here. These spooky socks, like I said, the pattern is called Spooky Socks. It's by Kristen McLaren, and I did these socks with yarn by Moonglow Yarn Company, and the I bought a sock set for these. The sock set was called Haunted Rose Garden, and like I said, this was for the Spooky Sock Make-Along of 2021. That was a collaboration and hosted between, I have everything written down, so sorry if I keep looking down. It was a collaboration between Natalie from Nitty Natty, you may know her podcast, Nitty Natty, Kay from The Crazy Sock Lady, who has another amazing podcast that I recommend checking out, and Whitney at Moonglow Yarn Company. So they collaborated together and put this beautiful yarn together and hosted the Spooky Sock Make-Along of 2021. So I did participate in that. I did finish these actually on the 31st, on Halloween, but I hadn't finished the Afterthought heel until maybe like 3 or 4 days later. So, but this is one finished object. So I have my spooky socks. And this was my first pair of socks, if you're wondering, so very ambitious. As you could probably tell from some of these finished objects and things that I talk about, I'm quite an ambitious knitter. I learned to knit, I think, in 2009, and the first thing I learned how to knit was mittens, which is not technically the first thing that a lot of people learn how to knit. I think a lot of people go with the easy things like a scarf or something, but I wanted to learn the mittens, and my mom taught me how to knit, and when she taught me, she told me that if you learn how to read, I call it knittle, but if you learn how to read a pattern, you can really make anything, and you should never be afraid to make anything or do a new technique. And so, socks. I had never made socks before, but there they are. So yeah, so I'm a bit of an ambitious knitter, but yeah. This is my next finished object. This one I hadn't shown to you before, but it was on the needles, and I didn't show it to you the first episode, but I did finally finish it. And that is my Briochevron cowl, and this is a pattern by Stephen West. So here it is. Let me show you. This is the Briochevron cowl. What's the back? So this is a pattern by Stephen West, as I said. I knit this cowl with Malabrigo yarn, Malabrigo Rastita yarn in, I think the colors are, I wrote it down, they're called Plomo and Mostaza. So Plomo is that gray there, and Mostaza is the green there. So these are the two colors that I used. This pattern I've had on the needles forever. Well, I had on the needles forever. This pattern, I think I started it in the summer of 2020. So it has been a long time for me to finish this. Originally, I was going to knit the long scarf version of this as well, because this pattern does have two versions. So you can knit the cowl, as I have done, or you can just go simply for a longer scarf version of this. But it was honestly, this was actually my first brioche project. As you can see, this is brioche. This was my first brioche project, and it took me a while for this project to get going. Once I did it though, it came very naturally, and it was quite simple and easy, but it just was taking so long. It was taking so long. So, and I wanted to just get it off the needles. I don't know, sometimes I just wanted it to be done. I just wanted it to be finished. And I'm so glad actually that I decided to stop it early, because I was originally going to go for the long scarf version, like I said, but I decided to stop it early and just do the Mobeius cowl version. So cowl is normally, you just connect the two ends here. What makes this a Mobeius cowl is that you twist it like I did here, so that you have one color on this side and one color on that side, and then you just have the I-cord, you attach the I-cord bind off here. So that is what I've done. I'm actually quite glad that I did that, because I don't know if I would wear this as much if it was just a long scarf. With it being a cowl, it's just really easy to just slip on over your t-shirt or jacket or whatever, and it wears beautifully. It wears beautifully as a cowl. I've worn it a couple times actually already since I've finished it, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, so this is my Briochevron Mobeius cowl by Stephen West. I'm completely in love with it. It's gorgeous. And this was my first brioche project as well, as I said, so again, quite an ambitious knitter I am, but yeah, that's my second finished object. I absolutely love this here. Yeah, so that's second finished object number 2. And the third finished object, I'm very happy to report. I did talk about this in my first episode, episode 1, and it was a work in progress then. I have finished my very first sweater, and that is this sweater. That is the Broadleaf Sweater, and this is a pattern by Woolen Pine Designs. And this is, again, this is brioche, so this is my first sweater, so here it is. I have finished the sleeves. I do need to weave in the ends here. I need to weave in the ends, but I don't need to block it again, I don't think, but the ends do need to be weaved in. So here is my Broadleaf Sweater. This is, like I said, a pattern by Wool and Pine Designs. And this sweater I did with Miss Babs yarn. So this, both of these yarns are Miss Babs yarn. They're fingering weight yarns. The dark color is called Dark Fury. So that dark purple is called Dark Fury. It's held together with a shibui mohair. So I just held it together with that. And then the middle panel, where the brioche lace pattern is also Miss Babs, and that color is called Bewitching. So those are the colors there, and the dark color there. I am so excited that I finished this. This was quite an ambitious knit for my first sweater, as you can see. And since I had never knit a sweater before, I mentioned this last time, but since I had never knit a sweater before, I didn't know how to count things correctly, I suppose, when I went to calculate how large I needed to make this. So there's not a lot of positive ease for me in this sweater. There is some, maybe like an inch, maybe an inch or so, maybe a little over an inch of positive ease, but not very much. It just sort of fits me. And it just fits me quite, not snugly or tight or anything, it just sort of fits me perfectly. And I didn't know that I needed to calculate positive ease in there for some reason. I just didn't know that. So I don't have a lot of positive ease in this, but it was my first sweater, and I will know for the next time I knit a sweater that I need to calculate the positive ease better or correctly. So I know how to do that now, but yeah, so that's the only qualm I have with this. Other than that, it was quite enjoyable. I really, really liked this pattern. Probably not something that I recommend for a first sweater or even for first time trying brioche. So, but it is a lovely pattern. So if you do want to do those things, or if you know how to do those things, I would recommend knitting this gorgeous broadleaf sweater by Wool and Pine. I can't wait to wear it, actually. I just want to weave in those ends so that I can wear it, but once I do, I will wear it and it'll be gorgeous, and I'll take some proper pictures for Instagram, and I'm so excited to have that finally finished. So I only have 3. Those are the 3 finished objects that I have, but 3 is better than 0. So I'm very happy that I have those 3 to show you. And then I will just go ahead and move on to works in progress. So works in progress, I right now have 3 active works in progress that I'm working on. And the first one that I'll mention, like I said, I have 3 active right now, but that'll probably change in this next month. But the first one that I'll show you is the Shawlography. So my Vlogtober series was dedicated to Shawlography, but I have not finished my Shawlography yet, and that's the wrong bag. Sorry. Being sick, sort of like I've forgotten things. So here's my Shawlography. Again, I don't have this on needle stoppers, so I'm going to try not to drop it. But I'm basically almost done. I have some stripes to do. But here's my Shawlography. It is gorgeous. I'm so in love with it. This is the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along of 2021. And I have this much to finish. So I think I have about 12 more stripes to go. I did do the big stripe border, as you can see. So I have about 12 more stripes to go, just that much, and then I can weave and block it and take some pictures and wear it. Very exciting. So yeah, so here's my shawlography. The shawlography that I did, I just wanted to briefly show you shawlography and that I'm not quite finished with it yet. Once I do finish it, I will sort of wrap up the Vlogtober series with the finished shawlography and take pictures of it and show you and everything. But yeah, that's my shawlography. Still not done, but I do plan on knitting on that today and hopefully finishing it up. If I don't get too stuffy brained, I will finish that up and get it blocked and everything and get it ready for the next vlog or for the final Vlogtober vlog. So that is a work in progress still. Almost done with that. And then the perpetual work in progress, my second work in progress that I will show you. I have not knit on this for quite a while. I put it down for the entire month of October. I have not picked it up since then. This is going to be the first time I've opened this and picked this up in like a month. But I'll show you anyway, because I don't know, I just love it. So this is the Slipstravaganza Blanket. And this is a pattern by Stephen West, again. I have this on stoppers, so I just don't want to drop it. But here is my Slipstravaganza Blanket so far. It's a little bunched up on this needle. This is a 60-inch circular needle. It's a little bunched up still. But you can still see it. Oh my god. I just pulled this out right now and I was looking at it as I'm looking at it on camera, and I'm thinking, gosh, this is so gorgeous. This is so, wow. I need to finish this. I need to work on this more. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous knit. I am so in love with it. It's beautiful. Yeah, but I'm still on the bubble section, as you can see. There's going to be 12 stripes of the bubble section once I'm done with the bubble section, but I am still only on the 4th stripe. And I actually recently, or not recently, this morning, very recently, this morning, I just watched Emily from Willow Cove Crafts podcast. I just watched her newest video this morning, and I love Emily. Hi Emily, if you're watching. I found her channel because we're both making the Slipstravaganza blanket, and I just watched her video this morning and realized that we're actually on the same bubble. And I think we're actually almost on the same row, basically, just about like the 3rd or 4th row in that bubble. So I just thought that was kind of a coincidence and kind of funny, but I'm still here. I'm on the same place as Emily from Willow Cove Crafts, and yeah. But I'd like to work on this more this month, and I think I will, but it might sit on the needles it might sit on the needles this month too, actually, because I do have some things planned that I'll talk about. But I'll knit on this as much as I can, because it is a beautiful knit. It is quite fun to do, and very just easy. And when I pulled this out, gosh, it just wows me every time I see it. I'm like, gosh, I need to finish this knit so I can put it on my bed. It's so beautiful. But this knit this is a blanket, as I said. I am knitting this with this is a DK weight yarn. I'm knitting this with Valley Yarns DK weight yarn. Valley Yarns is by Webb's, America's Yarn Store. So not an expensive yarn. I couldn't afford the West Wool Tandem yarn by Stephen West. So I just got a cheaper yarn. I think this one has acrylic in it, but that's okay because it's just a blanket. But yeah, so I'm knitting this with Valley Yarns DK weight. The colors that I'm using are black, the silver here, gray, and dark gray. So I just have those contrasting colors and the black as my main color. So that is what I'm doing. And I love it. It's so beautiful. Like I said, every time I pull it out, I'm just like, oh, gosh, it's gorgeous. And I'd love to finish it one day, but I think this is going to be a perpetual works in progress, and it's just going to be kind of on the needles for a while, and it's going to take me quite a while to finish it, I think, just because it is a blanket, like I said, and I think it is going to be large enough, I think, for a full-size bed. So it's quite big, and it's going to take me some time to finish that. So, but that is my second works in progress. And the third work in progress that I will show you today is a new one. So I knit my first pair of socks, like I said, and while I was knitting socks, I actually realized that I loved it. I loved knitting socks. I don't know why I had never knit socks before, but oh my gosh, they're so great and they're so much fun, and they're a little bit technical, so you know, learning how to do the heel and the toe, and I had learned a new cast on. I learned the Judy's Magic cast on, which was cool. Magic loop? I think it's called Magic Loop cast on. I might be wrong. Anyway, some new techniques that I learned in knitting socks, and I really liked it. And I loved knitting socks. They go really fast. And having a pair of knitted socks is just the best. If you have a pair of knitted socks, they're the absolute best. They're so toasty, they're so comfortable, and they're just the best. I love them. So I want to knit more socks. And I decided that I would knit a pair of socks for one of my best friends. So I have two best friends, and I don't think either of them watch this channel, so I think we're safe for them not seeing this, because this is going to be a Christmas gift for one of them. So I think we're safe with them not seeing it. You know who you are, though. If you're watching this, click away. Click away. Get off this video. What are you doing? Anyway, so this is a pair of socks that I'm knitting for my best friend Jessica, and I am knitting these socks called Poet Socks, and I will insert a picture so you guys can see what the finished project looks like. But here are the Poet Socks that I am knitting her. So I have finished the reinforced heel and the gusset section here, but you can see the pattern. I'll just slip my hand into it. You can see the pattern here. So it is quite beautiful. It's such a beautiful, lacy, elegant sock pattern that I absolutely love. This is a pattern called Poet Socks. It's by Sari Nordland, and I apologize if I say that wrong. I think that's how you say it. Sari Nordland. Nordland is the designer of the Poet Socks. I am doing these socks with a yarn by Miss Babs. My best friend Jessica's favorite color is Tiffany blue, and so I wanted to find her a pair of, or yarn that was Tiffany blue-ish in color. So I found this gorgeous yarn by Miss Babs. This is their Estrellita yarn, so It's a fingering weight yarn, but it is, it has lurex in it, which I think is just sparkly stuff. So it has a bit of sparkle in it, which I think is perfect for a Tiffany color blue. But yeah, so it's got a little bit of sparkle in it. This color is called Sea Goddess, and I don't think they have it anymore on their website. At least when I checked, they didn't have it, but this is the Sea Goddess color. And you can see those sparkly bits. They're really beautiful. So that's the yarn that I'm using. Let me know in the comment section if you think it's Tiffany blue. I had a picture of the Tiffany blue box on my phone because I don't have a Tiffany box, but I looked up the picture of it, and it's such a unique color, and I think it's patented or copyrighted, or I don't know. So it's not easily replicated, let's say. Let's say that. So I looked through so many pictures of yarn, and I could not find one that was exactly right. But I did find this one, and I thought, at least to my eye, that it was quite close to the Tiffany blue. Maybe I'll do a side-by-side of the color and the Tiffany blue box to see. But either way, that's the yarn I'm making it with. So we're gonna go with the fact that it's almost Tiffany blue. But yeah, this is the Poet sock here that I'm making, and so I think it's turning up quite nicely. It is beautiful. It's a very elegant looking sock, and I can't wait to finish this. I do need to buy some sock blockers. Now that I want to learn how to make more socks and make more socks, I need to buy some sock blockers because I don't have that. But yeah, but I did buy these new needles here. I wanted to show you. I have these socks, and I'm knitting these on the Addi Flexi Flips, Addi Flexi Flip needles here. They're basically just double pointed needles, but they're like flexible. It took me a little bit to get comfortable and know how to use these, but once I did, they're quite nice. I like them. I like them a lot. So if you haven't tried them, I'd recommend trying them. They're actually quite nice. So those are the Poet socks. This is only the first one. I haven't finished the first one yet. I do have a little bit of time before Christmas, so I will finish these before Christmas. Hopefully. Hopefully. That wasn't it. I did this before. It was like this. Anyway, hopefully I will finish these before Christmas, because these will be a Christmas gift. But yeah, I do have some other plans, so I'll talk to you. But yeah, these are the Poet socks here. So that is a work in progress. I have started it already, obviously, but hopefully I could finish at least the first one in the next week or so, and move on to the second one, and then get them blocked and everything. But I need to get some sock blockers because I don't have that. So yeah, let's see. That's all the finished, or not finished objects, works in progress. That's all the works in progress that I have right now to share with you guys. Not a lot, but it's enough. So it's enough actually, because I have some plans here that I wrote down that I will talk to you about now. So future plans and some acquisitions. So because I have fallen in love with knitting socks, I have decided to, sorry, my headband is falling forward. I hate that. Get a drink of water. I have the water here so that I don't cough while I'm doing this video. So far seems to be working, so. Socks. So I've fallen in love with socks, and I have decided to take part in Natalie from Nitty Natty. Again, mentioning Natalie. I have decided to take part in her Sockmas 2021. So she's hosting a Sockmas she has some sponsors. So she has some sponsors with her for this Sockmas 2021, but she is the main host, I think, of Sockmas. I will link her video below if you want to check out a little bit more and hear a little bit more about Sockmas 2021 and what it's all about. What I will say though is that Sockmas 2021, it is a 3-week knit along, make along, whatever you want to call it. It's a 3-week make along, and I think it starts on November 26th, so it starts pretty soon, and it runs for 3 weeks, like I said. This year's Sockmas I have it written down, so I'm looking down, but this year's Sockmas 2021 has a theme, which I guess is a new thing. This is my first time taking part in Sockmas, so I didn't know that it doesn't usually come with a theme, but apparently it doesn't. But this year does have a theme, and that is a Disney theme. It's called Christmas at the Castle, the Disney Castle specifically. And I love Disney. I love Disney and Disneyland, and I've never been to Disney World, but I'd love to go. And I love Disney and all things princess and all things fun like that. So quite excited to take part in this knit along, or this Sockmas 2021, I should say. So let me go ahead and share with you what I have gotten for Sockmas so far. So I went ahead and I purchased yarn from one of the sponsors for Sockmas 2021. I purchased from Addison at Ruby Rose Yarn Company. I purchased her Castle by Day sock yarn set. So let me go ahead and show it to you. I'm very excited about it because I opened this up. I tried to film this video once before, and I opened it up on camera and there was just too much rustling, and I didn't like the way the video turned out, so I won't show it to you. But oh my gosh, I was just floored with this yarn. This is the Castle by Day soft rose base yarn. So you get 100 grams of this fingering weight here, and this is what mine looks like. It's beautiful, beautiful minty blues or sky blues, and some gorgeous purples and pinks and a little bit of green and everything in here. And then these beautiful contrast colors, these mini skeins of white and a gorgeous mauve color. And they just go beautiful with this main color here. So this is one of the sponsors. Like I said, this is the Ruby and Roses Yarn Company here. Hopefully you guys can see. And I purchased this for Sockmas 2021. So I have this yarn set and I'm very excited about it. If you purchase this yarn set is like, oh my gosh, it's so soft, and oh wow, this yarn is just so scrumptious. It's so squishy and so soft, and I'm so excited to knit with it. I'm more excited to finish whatever I make with it because it's going to be so comfy, and I can't wait. But it's beautiful. So that is the Castle by Day sock set that I purchased. I also purchased this for the Sockmas 2021. I didn't get the stitch markers. I didn't get the stitch markers that were that are part of the Sockmas 2021. I think there's a sponsor for a stitch marker that's part of the Sockmas. It's like a Christmas wreath, but like in the Disney Mickey Mouse ears. So it's like Mickey Mouse. It's Mickey Mouse, but it's a Christmas wreath. It's beautiful. I didn't purchase that though. I actually purchased a different Christmas one. So I purchased this from Jackie Bean, a company called Jackie Bean here. Noemi, I think is how you say her name. Is it Noemi or Nomi? I'm not really sure, but that's Noemi there. I purchased from her Etsy shop. thank you, Nomi. I'm so sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but I purchased from her yarn shop called Jackie Bean. I purchased these gorgeous stitch markers from there, and they're Christmas, obviously, because this is a Christmas theme. So Christmas stitch markers here. They're so beautiful. I got them. So I've got the little Santa here, I got the snowman, and I got the little reindeer. And they're so cute. I love them. They're so beautiful. So I got these gorgeous little stitch markers, and I don't have stitch markers that are like safety pins like this either. That's new for me. So I'm so excited to use these and add these to my collection. I love them. They're so cute. Can't wait to use those. I think I might use one for my poet socks that I'm making, because those are Christmas. Those are going to be a Christmas gift. So they fall right into that. But yeah, very excited about that. Let's see. Oh, the other thing that I have for Sockmas 2021 is the pattern. So I'll insert a picture of the pattern that I'm making. I'm gonna make the Santa's Crew socks by Twin Stitches Design. So they're beautiful. I'm very excited to knit these. I think they'll show up quite nicely. I do have 2 contrasting colors instead of just the one. I think the sock has just one red contrasting color on them, but I do have 2, so I'll incorporate 2 contrast colors there. I'm not quite sure how yet, but those are the socks that I'm making for Sockmas 2021, and I'm very, very excited to participate. So that starts here, I think next week, right? The 26th. Very exciting. So yeah, that's Sockmas 2021. Those are the acquisitions that I have for Sockmas, and that's one of my future plans. And then the second plan that I have is also another sock pattern, another sock, the sock make-along. I'm going to participate in the Winter Sock Make-Along hosted by Whitney at Moonglow Yarn Company and Julie Ann Knitter of Twin Stitches Design. And they're hosting a winter sock make-along called A Cozy Treat for Your Feet. And I'm very excited to take part in this one as well. This one starts a little bit later. This one starts December 1st and it goes through January 31st. So I think I'll have enough time to finish all 3 of these socks. I've got my poet socks, I've got my Sockmas 2021, and now A Cozy Treat for Your Feet winter sock make along. So I think I'll have enough time to finish all 3 of those socks. But like I said, so this one starts a little later, December 1st. The pattern that I'm going to make for the Cozy Treat for Your Feet winter sock make along is the Winter Socks by Mia Dahmer, Dehmer. I think it's like a Swedish name, so I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. But it's Mia Dahmer, or Vicky Vera, as you could find her on Instagram and Ravelry, I think. I'll insert her name and put her information below. I have had her winter socks pattern for quite a while. I've had her pattern, I have a couple of her patterns in my Ravelry store, or my Ravelry library, I should say, and I haven't made any of her patterns. I love her patterns, I love the socks, but I've never had a chance to make them. So, but I am going to make these winter socks for the Cozy Treat for Your Feet winter sock make along. So I'm very excited to do that. I'll insert a picture, like I said, of the socks that I'm making. And then the yarn, I'll insert a picture here because I don't have it with me yet. I just purchased it online, I think maybe last week, middle of last week, and I don't have it yet. It hasn't been shipped to me yet. But I did purchase the yarn by Moonglow Yarn Company, which is one of the sponsors for the Winter Sock Make-Along. I purchased her Frosted Forest sock set. So it's a beautiful sock set. It has this sort of dark balsam green for the main color. I did get the 100-gram sock set. It comes with a dark green for the main color, and then I think there's three contrasting colors, and they're gorgeous. So you've got this like sort of light green spruce color there, and then the white, I think, or maybe it's like a silver. I think it's more white, but you get that one, and then you also get the red. So I'm going to make the winter socks pattern with that sock set, and I'm very, very excited about it. So I think I'm more excited just because I've been waiting to knit these socks for quite a while. Like I said, it's been like a long time since I've purchased these socks, and I'm very excited to make that. So so those are the sock plans that I have. Actually, no, I'm not done yet. I have another sock plan that I'll talk about, but those are the sock plans that I have for the next 2.5 months. So yeah, or no, more like just 2 months, more like a month and a half. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what day it is. So those are the socks that I'm making in the next month and a half. I think I should be able to finish them, but just in case I don't, I will. It's fine, I will. As long as I finish the poet socks is the big deal. So just because they're going to be a Christmas gift. So as long as I finish those, I think we're going to be okay. Anyway, and then let me talk about the next thing I have planned. I have, the dog next door is crying. I have purchased the yarn for this, and I'm actually using yarn from my stash. Okay, so I have the yarn for this. I'm using yarn from my stash for this, but I plan on making the Snowpine Sweater. That is a Woolen Pine Designs sweater. Same designer that I did the Broadleaf Sweater. They make beautiful sweater patterns, and I'm totally in love with them. This is their new sweater pattern called Snowpine Sweater. I'm gonna knit this with yarn from my stash and some that I just purchased, that I just bought. So let me go ahead and show you. I have them in this bag and all caked up already. This is this is my favorite knit bag. This is a bag that my mom actually made for me. So I don't know what the pattern is or anything like that. I apologize. But she made me this awesome bag. It's got 2 grommets at the top for different colors. And I just, I love this bag. It's my favorite thing. I want her to make me another one. I hope she will one day. Anyway, so I have my yarn in this awesome bag. I have it caked up already too. So this yarn, I think I showed you in episode 1. This is from my stash. This is the coffee break yarn, the Miss Babs Estrellita, so it's a little bit sparkly. Miss Babs Estrellita, sorry. Miss Babs Estrellita yarn in the color Coffee Break. So I have that. That's from my stash. And this sweater pattern, I'll insert a picture so you guys can see. It's sort of a raglan sweater, so the sleeves are a different color than the body. I'm gonna do the body with this Coffee Break color here, and then the sleeves I'm going to do with this yarn, this navy blue yarn. This is Brooklyn Tweed Peary yarn, which I've never used Brooklyn Tweed yarn before, so I'm very excited about it. But I purchased this yarn. Me and my mom went out and visited a yarn shop here called Tolt Yarn Company, and I did some filming of our trip that I'll put in sort of a mini podette that I'll release probably after this video. But I purchased this yarn at Tolt Yarn Company here. So this is the Peary yarn. It's a navy blue color. It's a fingering weight base. So I bought that there, so that's the only acquisition that I have for this project. And then the Snowpine Sweater has sparkles in it, or you make sparkles. So I'm going to use this yarn from my stash for the sparkles. This is the Cozy Posy Yarn Company's yarn. This is the color Honey Bunny. So I'm going to use that for the sprinkles. So yeah, so that is the yarn that I have for the Snowpine sweater. I don't know when I'm going to start the Snowpine sweater. Yeah, I'm not really sure yet when I'm going to start it. There is intarsia knitting in the Snowpine sweater, and that'll be a new technique for me, so maybe I'm just a little nervous, or I just want to get going with my socks, or I don't know what my problem is, but I haven't started the Snowpine sweater yet, but I will. So that is a future plan. And then the last future plan that I'll talk about is a big one, actually. So this is a bigger project. This is because of my love of knitting socks. I have decided to do something kind of wacky. So I have decided to knit my way through the 52 Weeks of Sock book. This is the book here, 52 Weeks of Socks. It's a book by Lane, I think is how you say. Lane is I think it's a knitting magazine, Lane. I think it might be a Swedish or a Norway. Anyway, it's a Nordic knitting magazine, I think. Anyway, they put together, curated this book, 52 Weeks of Socks, and there's many different designers and techniques and all kinds of cool stuff in this book, and I'm so excited. My mom purchased this book, this 52 Weeks of Socks, and she showed it to me as I was knitting my spooky socks, and I thought, oh my gosh, I would love to knit my way through this book, because I looked at all the patterns and they're all gorgeous and they're all amazing, and some of them look quite hard too. So I'm gonna knit my way through this book, sort of in the Julia and Julia style. If you've ever seen that movie, Julie and Julia. It's like where she cooks her way through the Julia Child cookbook. In that same style, I'm gonna knit my way through the Lane 52 Weeks of Socks book. I don't know how long this is gonna take me, obviously, and I don't know. I highly doubt that I'll finish a sock a week. I don't think that's gonna happen, to be honest. But this might be a long haul project. But this is what I'm going to do here. I'm not going to give myself a deadline or anything either, but I am going to knit my way through this. So I'm very excited. 52 Weeks of Socks. There's 52 patterns in here, obviously. The first one, I'll show you the first one. The first pattern, it's gorgeous too. Look at this book. It's like, wow. This book is amazing. The first pair of socks, I think these are the first pair of socks. The first pair of socks, oh no, they're not the first pair of socks. The first pair of socks are called Intersections. It's a pattern by Marcelin Smith. And each sock pattern in the book actually comes with 2 sizes. So I don't think I'll make all 52 pairs of socks for myself, because I do have quite small feet. Like I talked about before, I wear a size 6 or 6.5 in women's in the US, which is quite small. I don't think I'll make 52 pairs of socks or slippers for myself. I think I'll probably knit some of these in the larger size, just so I can give them as gifts. But yeah, so this is the first pair of socks here, Intersections. Like I said, this is a pattern by Marcelin Smith. So that is the first pair of socks. I'm so excited to get going. I think what I'm gonna do is start these. Oh, look at these. Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. The cool thing about knitting socks is, like, I just love looking at the different designs of socks too, because, like, oh my gosh, like, what? They're so beautiful. This book is gorgeous. Anyway, I think I'm gonna start working through this book in January. So let's just go with January 1st. So we'll start January 1st. I will cast on my first pair of socks for the 52 Weeks of Socks. And yeah, I wanted to show you that. I also wanted to show you this one. We at the Tolt Yarn Company, we saw this one, and this is the 52 weeks of shawls. I think you can't really see it, but this is the 52 weeks of shawls by Lane as well. This is in their hardcover, so it was a little bit more pricey, but this is their shawls, their collection, their book of shawls essentially, and it's a curation. Same thing as the 52 weeks of socks, but 52 weeks of shawls. Maybe I'll knit my way through this too, but this is obviously going to take so much longer. Look at this book though. It is absolutely gorgeous. And you can't see it, but this book is a woven, it's like a hardcover, but it's like woven. And the pages, the pages of it are, what are they? Uncoated. Uncoated paper is what they're called. So it's actually just incredible. It's actually just gorgeous. I mean, this book is amazing. So I'm so excited about it. So I'm gonna knit my way through this too, maybe, or maybe I'll just knit some patterns in here, but oh gosh. These books are so heavy and they're so expensive. I think this book was like $60 something, and then this one was like $50 something. So quite expensive books, but I think worth the price. So I'm gonna knit my way through the sock one. We'll see if I knit some patterns from the shawl book, but definitely the sock one. Yeah, so that starts January 1st. That is all I have. That's all I have for knitting, guys. If you don't care to hear about books or TV shows, you can click off of this video now. But that's all I have for knitting. If you're clicking off this video, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. So let's go ahead and get into books. So I wanted to talk about just a few books that I've been reading. So books. So I've read quite a few books actually over October, a little bit of September and some definitely October. So the first book that I want to talk about is actually a book that I got from the Unplugged book Club book box. Oh my gosh. I get a book subscription, a book club book box every month from Unplugged, and they sent me this book. I think this was for October. I think this was the October book, if I'm not mistaken, or it might have been September. Maybe it was September. Anyway, this book is called The Night We Burned by S.F. Kosa. Here it is. It is an incredible book. I was a little bit curious or weary to start this. It's absolutely incredible. This book is about a character called Dora. It's about a secret, a mysterious cult fire, and a woman looking to outrun her past. And I won't say much more than that, because I think if I say more than that, I'll give it away. But it is absolutely incredible. The writing is superb. I highly recommend this read. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's just a beautiful read. I finished this pretty quickly too, because once you get going with it, it takes a little while to get going obviously, but once you get going, it's very, 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 very page turning. I found myself page turning this one. So I recommend this book. It's very, very good. If you're interested in anything having to do with what the mindset is of someone who's in a cult, which I actually have experience with, if you have any interest in that kind of thing, I highly recommend this book. It's very, very good. So that's one of the books that I read in October. And the second one, I'll just talk about two. The second one that I'm actually currently reading right now, is a book I'm completely in love with. It is this one, The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. It is a book about 4 septuagenarian sleuths. It's about a murder mystery. It's a really good whodunit book, and this author, Richard Osman, apparently he's quite famous. Apparently he's quite famous in the UK, I think, in Britain. Yeah, I think. Anyway, he's a host of some TV show over there. But he wrote a second book with the Thursday Murder Club called The Man Who Died Twice. You can see right here, The Man Who Died Twice. I think that came out in September of this year, so his second book just came out in September, but this was his debut novel, and this one is called The Thursday Murder Club, and I think the second book is just a continuation of the same group of people, the same 4 septuagenarian sleuths that we get in this book. I think it's the same 4 people in the second one, which is kind of fun and exciting, but I absolutely love it. I'm almost to the end, as you can see here, just there. It is fantastic. It's such a good whodunit book. There's also parts that I've literally just like laughed out loud. It's so funny, and it's just fantastic. I absolutely recommend it. I can't wait to finish it so I can read the second one, The Man Who Died Twice. Because I've completely fallen in love with these 4 people that, like, they're 4 like old people, like in their 70s, they're in their 70s, I think, all of them, and they're just, they're old, they're set in their ways, and they're just hilarious. They're funny. They just like solve crimes together, and they're hilarious. So yeah, that's the book that I'm reading right now. I'm not done with it yet. I love it so far, and I recommend it. So if you have a chance to check this out, I would check it out. I want to get on to the second one too, because I heard that that's pretty good too. So those are the books that I'm reading. If you have any other book recommendations for me, throw them my way. I would love to hear it. Let's see. Let's talk about TV shows. I've been watching a lot of TV shows since I've been sick. I have been watching my favorite TV show. My favorite TV show of all time is Outlander. I love Outlander. Oh my gosh, you guys. It is the best. Maybe I just like watching Sam Heughan. I don't know. Anyway, I've been rewatching Outlander. Droughtlander is fully in effect, and yeah, I haven't really suffered too much from Droughtlander though this year, because if you watch Outlander, you'll know what Droughtlander is. Droughtlander is essentially it takes them a long time to go from one season to the next in the show, and this year has been particularly difficult because of the COVID-19 pandemic situation. So it's taken them quite a while to get to the next season. I think the next season is season 6, and blasphemy, I have not fully watched season 4 or 5. So I didn't watch season 4 or 5 because I was in college, I was in school, and I didn't want to have too many distractions, and so I haven't watched it yet. But I've gone back and started re-watching the entire series. So I am on season 1 right now, even though I've already seen season 1, 2, and 3, and a little bit of 4. I'm going back and watching it all again. So I'm on season 1, and I have to say it is my favorite. Well, no, just kidding. Season 2 is my favorite. That's probably a controversial statement for any Outlander fans. I love season 2. It is absolutely gorgeous. Season 1 and 2 are beautiful. I love those 2 seasons. We'll see. If you watch Outlander, if you've read the books, I have definitely read the book. Well, I've listened to the books. I started listening to them, which is a lot of fun. Davina Porter is the narrator, and she is incredible. So I recommend listening to it if you haven't before. But if you are an Outlander fan like I am, let me know. I love Outlander. I love to talk about it, and yeah, let me know if you're an Outlander fan, because I certainly am. So, and I could talk all day about it, or maybe I could just talk all day about Sam Heughan. Anyway, so I've been rewatching that. Well, I started rewatching that, and then I've been watching a show called Invasion on Apple TV Plus. Interesting. It's an interesting show. Don't know how I feel about it yet, to be honest, but it's sort of interesting, and it's a sci-fi show, and I think you're going to only find it on Apple TV Plus, if I'm not mistaken, but it's quite good. I don't know how I feel about it yet, like I said, but I've been watching that too. Yeah, and I think that's it. That's all I'm watching right now. So if you guys have any other recommendations for shows, let me know. Let me know what you guys are watching or listening to or reading or whatever. I would love to hear it and kind of get some chat going on that. Yeah, so that's all I have time for today, you guys. I have to run off and take a COVID-19 test just to be sure I don't have COVID-19. But yeah, that's all I have time for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you've gotten this far, thank you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm loving all the comments that I get. I try to respond to everyone. So please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Happy knitting, everyone.